Welcome to RewardWorks software from Zavez for your Maz system. Today we're going to view a brief demonstration using the RewardWorks software, and we'll cross-reference some Maz screenshots as well. The entire reason that Zavez is in business is for accounts payable. We're going to help you identify who takes American Express, help you get that information to your vendors, update your Maz accounting system, and help with reconciling. So where Zavez gets started is with your vendor list. You'll send us in a complete list of your vendors, and we'll go out and identify everyone's American Express policies. The other reason we do this is we're going to create a SQL database. This is your SQL database. It's how the software knows who takes American Express, and it acts as a backup for all of your American Express transactions. So what we're going to do here is after we've downloaded the database, we're going to client install, so only the computers that you want to have the RewardWorks software will. Everything sits behind your firewalls as this is not a web-based program. RewardWorks will sit as a menu option right on your desktop, and what it's looking for is open invoices. We want you to enter all of those invoices into Maz as you always have. You're going to post those invoices the same. You'll code those invoices the same. You'll even do pay runs on the exact same days. Just right before you batch those for a check, you're going to open up our software. Now, you'll always open up the RewardWorks software first. It's RewardWorks who knows who takes American Express, not Maz. So by opening RewardWorks first, we're going to get all of those American Express invoices out of the way. Now, one of the first things that you can do when you open up the software is you can go up top and sort these invoices by due date. The software is going to automatically pull over every single invoice using Visual Integrator. It's going to just show you the ones that take American Express, so we can immediately filter just the ones we want to pay by due date. Then we can sort by the largest invoice. We can sort by invoice number. The software itself is very user-friendly. You can absolutely select these invoices one by one, but you can also right-click, and then we can grab all the invoices for Airgas, or we can select all the invoices all together. This pop-up has come up that says we've run into our available limit. This is an example of multiple card use. Many companies have more than just one American Express card. So you might have a designated amount set aside for payables, and that's what this is. You program in the amount that you want the software to remind you at. Maybe this month it's $50,000, and next month we'll make that $150,000. Now, before we actually post these invoices, I want to show you one more report. This is called a report on selection. It's also an open invoice report for American Express. It's going to show you everybody who's about to be paid. It will break down credits, totals, invoices. It's like your pre-authorization report for everybody who's about to get posted to American Express. Every report we generate in the software, you can easily put into PDF, Excel, or Word, and by default, we use Crystal Reports. But let's go ahead and post these invoices. So when you've already run your open invoice report, we're going to go down here to Pay Invoices to come to one more confirmation screen. You can see how much you're spending. And then you click Accept, and now you're done. The software is going to go back into Maz utilizing Visual Integrator. There are pre-written VI jobs for every version of Maz from 3.71 all the way to 4.4. It will automatically close out all of those open invoices you've requested and move it as an open liability under the American Express vendor. Now, at the same time we're doing that, we're also going to generate this remittance advice. Now, we'll come back and talk about how you want to send that remittance advice to your vendors, but right now we're going to cross-reference some screenshots of Maz first. How Visual Integrator works is Visual Integrator works in batches. When you launch your Visual Integrator, which is all behind the scenes so you don't have to do anything, you will need to go into Maz and update your invoice register. That is just 2 clicks of the mouse. But once your invoice register is updated, that's how you push that batch through from RewardWorks into Maz. Once your invoice register is updated, Maz is going to show these vendors paid with a C number check as in credit card. We're going to take that same C number and cross-reference it under the American Express vendor as well. Because once we've closed it out under the vendor level, we're going to open it up under the American Express side. Now we start with these Z numbers. That way you'll know when an invoice begins with the letter Z as in Zavez, this was an American Express payment. We're also going to write in the comment section Zavez payment to the widget vendor. That way you'll always be able to link your Z numbers right back to exactly what vendor was being paid. When we transfer the liability to American Express, it's called a vendor-to-vendor transfer. It works exactly as when you pay with American Express. All it is moving the liability. This step does not affect your general ledger account, at least not yet. It's when you go back and cut the check for American Express, that closes out the open invoices and gives you a GL posting like any other check-to-vendor transfer. So to recap, once you've updated your invoice register, MAS is going to show these invoices paid with a C number as in credit card. We're going to use Z numbers as in Zavez, and then you'll also have all of that history maintained in the software as well. Back in the software, we also generate these remittance advices to send to your vendors. You can email this. The software can pull the fax number over and email over from your MAS system and automatically generate an email for you to send. You can fax this to your vendors. You can mail this to your vendors. As long as you get this to your vendors, they will process what's called a card not present transaction, also known as a vendor-initiated payment. Zavez will help you customize this letter. We'll talk about if you want signatures, what logo, what messaging, and then that way every time you go to pay a vendor, the letter will state exactly not only how that vendor wants to be paid, but how you want to send it to them. We can generate copies, both for our records and also to be archived. But the software acts as a backup for all American Express transactions. So as long as you back that SQL database up, the software is never going to purge information. So any date range, you can go in here and run a payment history by vendor. If you select all vendors and summarize, what you're going to get is a report that mimics what your American Express statement looks like. You can easily take this report and put it into Excel and line it up next to the American Express online or at work statement and reconcile just like you would with your bank account. Now we can uncheck Summarize, and then we're going to get a closed invoice report for American Express. There's aging reports, open invoice reports, reports on who takes American Express. But anytime you have a question after we've installed, we've configured, and we've joined you for as many pay runs as it takes until everyone feels comfortable, Zavez will remain as on-demand support and service. That means anytime, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we want you to call us for any reason. Well, thank you very much for joining me for my demonstration today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.